This is Doc Deason's weather.
You're watching Doc Deason's weather.
2 decades of severe weather experience here for you when it counts. This is Doc Deason's weather, live now.
All right, good evening, everybody. It is, let's see here, we're at 10:57. Wanted to come on in and talk to you guys who specifically are in Hopkins County. We have the first of these more significant severe thunderstorm warnings, which are starting to become a player for our immediate area. I tend to focus on about 26 counties across the region. We run from up along I-30 there into Hopkins County. We'll take it south into Trinity County, east over into Sabine County, and then back north up into Cass County, and then we've kind of boxed it off. Been doing that for quite a while, and so that's where we tend to stay at. We don't do a whole lot of live stuff for other parts of the state. We've got other people who can handle that kind of thing, and they do it well and know that area better. And so we kind of leave that to them. But let's get in and look at the radar tonight, and we'll talk about just what exactly is cooking here. Weather Service is gone with severe thunderstorm warning for Hopkins County, and the warning itself. There's some extra verbiage in here. The 80 mile an hour wind criteria triggers some additional things in the warning process, mainly what's called the wireless emergency alert feature on your phones. If you were with me on Facebook earlier, you saw me post on that earlier on. Basically, that's just another way that Weather Service is able to get warnings out to people who are in an area where what is considered to be destructive wind is going to be possible. And that 80 mile an hour criteria meets what they consider destructive, and then therefore they'll go ahead and issue a warning with that that heightened tag on it, and that's what's probably getting some people up and moving into Hopkins County right now. The line itself, the leading edge of it is right there into Sulphur Springs, running back up to near Tyra, on the just east of Tyra right now, and heading back to the south into what would be Rains County there also. So now the folks in Rains County proper, not under a warning, at least at the moment. But I know Weather Service in Shreveport is going to go ahead and has already begun the warning process for Smith County as well as Wood, and that'll include our friends up into Franklin County as well as Titus County also. So you can see kind of the new polygon coming in there. just kind of as we speak here. So let's put our severe thunderstorm warning bug up there so you know where we are. Out ahead of that main line, you've got these cluster of storms, which are not as strong necessarily, still severe worthy, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and then about $1.25 there on the hail. So that gets you bigger than quarters, probably more like $half sized hail in that storm, running from up near Clarksville back into the northern part of what would be Franklin County, and particularly folks there into Titus County there, near Mount Pleasant along and just north of Interstate 30. And then out from there comes the line of storms, which is what prompted us to come on in a little bit early and talk about you guys there into Sulphur Springs and into Hopkins County. Here's what the loop looks like. And you can see that line arcing in from the north and west. Looks like Weather Service is just in the process of issuing another severe thunderstorm warning. NOAA weather radios are keying that in right now, and that will be looks like for just the southern end or a little bit further south. With that line of storms that prompted the warning for Hopkins County here just a second ago. Let's handle that.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
So that'll be a new severe thunderstorm warning for 3/4-inch hail and around 70-mile-an-hour winds. This will include Van Zant, northeastern Henderson, and Range County until 12:15. Weather Service looking at that line of storms located over east to Waukene, or around 11 miles northeast to Wills Point, moving southeast at 50. So again, they're going to say 70-mile-an-hour winds potentially on that, and smaller pocket change hail, sub-severe on the hail. The wind is what's driving the warning process there for that new warning for Henderson County, as well as Rains and Van Zant County. That goes till about 12:15. We're at 11:02 now. Hope you have had a good Saturday, a good Sunday, and a chance to get things kind of squared away around your property. Storm Prediction Center went ahead with kind of a special severe thunderstorm watch earlier on. They put you'll see that here on the map, the particularly dangerous situation tag, which we don't see that. I have not been a part of a what we call a PDS severe thunderstorm watch, at least that I'm aware of in my time. But usually you see that PDS tag, you'll hear it referred to as attached to tornado watches, and not necessarily severe thunderstorm watches. But they do have they have that kind of sitting in their pocket there at SPC, and they pull it out ever so often. You see that stuff sometimes up into the Plain States. But those of us here in East Texas, I haven't seen one like that in a while. Plenty of PDS tornado watches, but not the severe thunderstorm type. So again, just kind of some more heightened awareness of what's going on, and that 80 to potentially higher wind speeds in this thing are what's driving that concern. So again, if you're just hopping on, we got 11:04 now. We have severe thunderstorm warnings now, which include Wood County, also Smith County, as well as Gregg, Upshur County, and pretty much everybody back up to the north. I know we've got talked to some emergency operations folks earlier on this evening, and I know area of EOCs are at least working with a skeleton crew, if not in some cases maybe back off to the west, a bit more staffing there. But this line continues plugging through the DFW Metroplex now, and that's the main show, is going to be what goes on this leading edge of this thing. Okay, as the leading edge gets past your location, that's going to allow, you'll still have plenty of heavy rain, but you're not going to have nearly the amount of wind that you're going to have on the front end of this thing as it slides through. And so that's really where the main concern is at. You guys in Emory, you'll see that's close to 70-mile-an-hour winds there into the central part of the county right now. It's some folks asking about Alba earlier on. I see you there, Sandy. So here's Alba. That wind potential will be out. Pretty close, probably to the rain itself. Let's pull over and look at a couple of other things real fast here on radar scopes. So getting a little bit tighter here, and we can put we got Fort Worth there. So let's do this and flip over to our side by side real fast. So I'm not seeing anything just crazy spooky out of that right now. So that's good. Better wind back over towards Terrell, maybe. Let's see. Looking back in here at a little bit. So we're looking all right so far. Get a lot of lightning in this thing here as well. You can see the indications. Each of those little markers indicating an individual lightning strike. So that's we'll have that to contend with as well. Besides any wind and the hefty rainfall that'll be accompanying this also. I'll switch to that. So let's do this. Yeah, that's better. Hey Keith, here we are, man. Absolutely. So I figured we'd kind of ride this thing for a little bit. I know a lot of folks keyed up on the situation with the buildup over the past couple of days. The tornado potential is sitting there in this stuff tonight, but those are going to be more isolated, and they're going to be kind of positioned. If they were to develop, they'll be embedded right there along kind of the leading edge of this thing as it comes through, if they are able to develop. But still, regardless of anything tornadic, the wind will be the main driver of issues if we have any tonight. So again, that line getting into extreme northwestern Wood County now. You guys there near Alba got a heavier shower off to the north of you, but that line itself continues to run pretty solidly across Rains County right now, and it will continue to move south and east. So at least for the time being, Weather Service running with that considerable, what they call a considerable tag, which just indicates what do they think of the damage potential there, and 70-mile-an-hour winds, along with that 1.25-inch hail inside of the warning. That does include Smith County, by the way. The storms are still a good ways off to the west and northwest, but the warning, they're going to go ahead with the forward speed on these things being close to, I believe they had it at about 50 miles an hour earlier on. So let's see where they had that at. Yeah, moving southeast at 50. So you can see all the counties involved in that latest warning: Gregg, Camp, Southern Titus, Morris, Upshur, Wood, Northwestern Russ County, even Franklin and northwestern Harrison County, also southwestern Cass and Marion counties in there, along with Smith. So, pretty widespread. When you have these types of lines coming through, you'll see multiple counties brought into something simultaneously, not because the weather's going to impact them all at once, but just in an effort to simplify the process. They'll do some more widespread type things there versus just waiting on the individual county to come through. And you can do what you would have to do maybe with 10 or 15 separate warnings. You can knock that stuff out in just a couple of them. Looks like also we've got looks like a flash flood warning there as well.
Flash flood warning.
So this will be Weather Services Shreveport going flash flood warning for North Central Camp, northeastern Franklin, and Titus County. That'll run until 2:15. So the heavy rainfall there over the warned area, and they're going to go ahead and run with that flash flood warning. So again, that'll be for this heavy rainfall up from Mount Vernon back over to Mount Pleasant, including you guys there in Franklin and extreme northern part of Camp County there. That's north of Pittsburgh. You guys in Pittsburgh not in the flash flood warning, at least for the time being. But that's a hefty cluster of very heavy rainfall there, running right along I-30 there near Mount Pleasant. So again, flash flood warning going to hang there for a couple of hours. And I wouldn't be surprised to see additional flash flood warnings issued downstream as this main line runs in from the northwest. Looks like Weather Services out in Fort Worth is moving on a tornado warning for Tarrant County now, as well as Johnson and Parker County. So that'll be for this guy here. So not anything that's going to affect us, but folks out there in the west are keeping an eye on that. All right. So we're at 11:12 now. Thanks for hopping on and being a part of this tonight. We're going to watch this stuff at least until we can subside some of this 70 or better mile an hour wind situation. Number of counties under severe thunderstorm warning now. That line, the main impact zone into northern Van Zandt County right now. You guys, Wills Point, you can see that off just to your north. And then you got some additional development out ahead of that along I-20 closer to Canton, between Canton and Edgewood. So that stuff, again, all moving kind of southeasterly, east-southeast direction. Folks in Van and Grand Saline, a little bit of time left on that for y'all. Got heavy rain over Lake Fork, though, now, northwestern Wood County. And heavy rain covering Van Zandt County almost completely now. So the warning that brought us on initially was this warning over Hopkins County, okay, with the potential, at least earlier, for up to 80 mile an hour winds. The Weather Service issued that back out just before 11 o'clock. And when you see that destructive tag there and that potential for 80, it's hard not to swing in here and talk about it with you for a little bit. Again, if you've got folks who are trying to keep tabs on stuff, We've had a lot of folks coming in on board here throughout the last 24 to 36 hours. You can find me on X there at Doc Deason, on YouTube, which is a pretty high priority spot for a lot of folks. You can find me there on YouTube as well at Doc Deason. On Facebook, which is where we live, a lot of folks my age and older, we live on the Facebook side of things pretty hardly, but the other options are out there for you as well. If you do have email, pictures, anything that you'd like to share, feel free to shoot those over to me, Doc at docdeason.com. Again, Doc at docdeason.com. Thanks to our friends with Rose City Air for helping to provide support for the service that we try to perform here for you, and we appreciate them and their partnership here for a good while now. Good folks there. Brooke said there's a lot of folks at the beach on Lake Palestine. Okay, well, it'll be an interesting place to be at. You're probably in about an hour or so. Hopefully, they got a place to shelter at down there on Lake Palestine. You bet, Chris. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Jonathan, I think so. Yeah, they did do a tornado warning out there near Pantego, Arlington area. Yeah. Hard to see these circulations are there, and then sometimes they're gone just about as quick as they're there. But that's kind of part and parcel of this kind of situation. Incredibly volatile atmosphere still. I had a heat index at the house earlier this afternoon of 110. And then we had some outflow come through, and that helped to cool things off and made it much more bearable outside. But still, plenty of juice out there in the atmosphere this evening, and I think the showers and thunderstorms, which cranked up earlier, could very well have given us a little bit of a reprieve from what things would have looked like otherwise. Given the ability for us just to maintain a better heat content throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours, but hopefully that'll be the case, and we can escape some of what look like some pretty rough looking model runs here for the last several days, just indicating this what looks like a pretty widespread wind event. You bet, Rach. Glad you're here. Amber's hearing thunder in Martin's Mill. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Not as much thunder, though, or lightning, at least, as you see back over towards Terrell and those areas off to your west. Jersey asking about Edgewood. Severe thunderstorm warning for you guys there in Van Zandt County proper, including Edgewood. Nothing tornadic at the moment, though. Weather Service also going to go ahead and put flash flood warnings out for Dallas County and Tarrant County. They've got a lot of things, a lot of balls in the air over there in the Metroplex right now. Same system doing all this. So we're at 11:19 now. Severe thunderstorm warnings now covering quite a few of our counties. Pretty much if you're inside this orange, kind of this orange-looking outline, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning, even though maybe the severe weather has not made it to your location yet. Here's the line of severe storms and an additional pocket of some very heavy rain over Titus County and Franklin County at the moment. But this stuff, again, we'll put this in motion for you. All of this kind of diving to the south. Seems like it may be behaving a little bit better. Does it look maybe, yeah. still looks, that's a prominent kind of bow going on there across southern Hopkins County. So I don't want to let anybody's guard down yet, but some strong, very strong looking radar presentation over Dallas County and over towards Terrell. Pretty crazy in Alba right now, Sandy. Okay. I bet the wind's picking up there pretty good for you guys on the kind of on the leading edge of that line. So yeah. Ashley asking about Van. You guys will have winds pick up there in the Van area in the next probably 10 to 15 minutes. Then we got this looks like just an additional cluster of storms developing over Canton right now, kind of along that leading edge. So that should probably firm up some of this in an area that looked a little bit, few weaker spots, but these storms, this merging process here very well could firm that area of the line up. You bet, Jared. Well, thank you for being here. As far as Jonathan, as far as Arlington, if on the ground, I haven't seen anything that indicates that from that Arlington tornado warning. Looks like they may have cleared that warning out, actually. Yeah. So that's a good sign there. Any hail expected in South Tyler? Michael's asking. Man, not a ton of hail with this stuff right now, brother. This looks more windish as opposed to hail, at least for the moment. Anything that can get kind of cooking out ahead of the line would be more, I think, more apt to doing some hail. But overall, this will be more of a wind producer. Dean says 60 to 70 winds in Forney. Longest I've seen the wind blow for this long. Still has power. Okay, Dean, thanks. Yeah, Dean's over in Forney. He kind of helps me keep an eye on things over to the west, and appreciate him greatly. Thanks for that, Dean. So that's this pocket here that we were talking about. And I'll tell you, a 60-mile-an-hour wind, it may be minimal severe weather criteria, but that will do some hefty things around someone's property. Never mind 70 or 80-mile-an-hour winds. So really need to be respectful of that. I would treat it almost like a tornado myself, just to be on the safer side. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and kind of visit on some of that stuff real quick. So let's treat this as if we've got a tornado, particularly if you're in that 80-mile-an-hour wind swath over Hopkins County, or now getting into southern Franklin County, central Franklin County for that matter, and into northern Wood County. So we'll say lowest floor of the structure that you're in, centermost part of the building. All right. Small interior rooms are great. Bathtubs, obviously, are good. I don't necessarily feel as though we have to go to maybe those extremes, but let's definitely avoid windows and be mindful of that the weakness of that glass, particularly on the west, northwest, any of those westward facing sides of your building or your home. That's going to be what takes the bulk of the brunt on this stuff. Okay. Um, Mobile homes. I'm skittish on manufactured homes, particularly RVs. On a night like tonight, depending on the orientation, kind of how that thing is positioned in relation to the wind is can also be even more problematic. I'd rather you not be in those things if you've got some place where you can hunker down while the brunt of this gust front comes through. That would be more ideal for me. After the main gust front comes through, you're probably okay. But leading up to that and during that process, I don't like those, particularly those small RV types. That can be a problem with the wind and whatnot. Yeah, Lola asking about Lindale. Let me get back on the radar here real quick, Lola. So let's do. Sorry about that. Let's do this here. There we are. Okay. So asking about Lindale. Lindale still, you guys can probably see some lightning off to your north and northwest, but nothing imminent in the Lindale area at this time. Smith County, again, is involved in severe thunderstorm warning that was issued here a while back, as is Wood County, Upshur County, Gregg County, even northwestern Rusk County involved in the warning. They went ahead and stretched this thing all the way dang near to Texarkana. There's New Boston, kind of on the edge of the warning, as well as folks in Cass County there, just west of Linden, down into Marion County, near Lake of the Pines. Jefferson, you guys not in the warning at the moment. Longview is. Nothing really in the Tyler area at this time. Charlotte asking about that. So that'll be something. We'll get our share of this here in Tyler in the next hour or so. So I'm just kind of noodling around here for a second. Let's see here. 28. 27. So Weather Service just issued another severe thunderstorm warning for Tarrant County with that 80-mile-an-hour wind, which will set off all those wireless emergency alert systems. That'll wake a lot of folks up, or probably never went to sleep, given all the hype on this. But so we're at 11:29 now. The warning for Hopkins County goes until till midnight. The bulk of the severe weather is through Sulphur Springs, and that's really the bulk of that is probably really more properly aligned into easternmost Franklin County, back south to near Winnsboro, into Wood County, on south towards Quitman, Mineola. You guys see this here shortly. Here the wind was blowing pretty good in Alba here earlier on, and that'll kind of arcs back to the southwest into Grand Saline, Van. You guys are just just south of that right now. But that outflow on the front end of this thing will definitely come blowing through here in a bit. Folks in Canton, also right on the leading edge of that line, looks like to me. Warning does come into Henderson County. Nothing severe in the Henderson County area at the moment, though, whether that be western Henderson County or eastern Henderson County for that matter. David asking about Titus County. Folks in Titus County, still flash flood warning for you guys. Heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning there east side of Mount Pleasant right now, up along I-30 and then heading back down south. That's impressive rain. Here's the line itself. That's what's coming into western, right along the Titus and the Franklin County line right now. Clay, it does look like a Mickey Mouse hand, doesn't it? I never thought about that, but it does. It does. You bet, Laney. David said a lot of rain and lightning. Yeah. Sherry said pretty bad in Canton right now. I can't say that I'm surprised to hear that with your position relating to that line. I would think the wind would be pretty strong right now into Canton. Weather Service saying up to 70 mile an hour winds possible. So they're with that warning for you guys in Van Zandt County, which runs until 12:15 officially, but the severe weather I think is going to be out of there before the end of that, or before that expires. So we'll take a look at this loop here real quick, just kind of get you oriented on what's going on. DFW Metroplex out west. They're in the full teeth of this thing right now. Northern parts of the Metroplex have cleared that, but again, the main wind threat is going to be in this kind of in the leading edge of this line as it comes south. Okay. Let's do something here real quick. So let's go back to radar scope and let's just look at a few things here. Echo tops. Just trying to look at how high these things are. Still some decent tops in there, but not as high as they were earlier. Yeah, Weather Service is going to go ahead and cancel the Hopkins County warning early, like we were talking about, because that stuff's out of there, or almost out of there. Still, you guys, Como, Picton, still got a little bit longer on the heavier rain, but generally speaking, that's the brunt of that stuff is getting off into fully into Wood County. Vicky asking about Jacksonville. Jacksonville in the severe thunderstorm watch. Pretty much everybody from Palestine over to Alto, Wells, Nacogdoches, Center. That's going to be that'll be the southern edge of that box. Let's see here, we can show the watch. Yeah, so these counties that are highlighted in this kind of fainter yellow in the severe thunderstorm watch, that runs officially until 4 o'clock, but I think this will be long gone before then, based on how we're trending right now. So 11:35, and we got rainfall into northern Smith County now, so I like how we're trending on that just as far as getting this thing done sooner than later. Winds picking up in Van. Rachel, okay, thanks for that. Still got that moderate risk. That's what this red line is, the moderate risk from SPC, because of that strong wind potential that we've been looking at here for a bit. Let's go back to Omega here. Just hitting in Pittsburgh. Hope. Okay. Yeah. You guys in Pittsburgh are still got some pretty good wind coming up for you. Very heavy storm winds in Canton, Barry says. Okay, thanks for that, Barry. Winds picking up a lot just east of Winnsboro, Lauren says. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So no tornado warnings. We got the severe thunderstorm warnings, the large severe thunderstorm watch. Jennifer asking about Chapel Hill, Smith County. We still got a little bit of time on that. The line just now getting into extreme northern Smith County, up near Jamestown, and there's Jamestown here. There's Mineola. Oh, thanks, David. Good days at KMU, man. Good times there. Shannon asking about what we think the winds are going to do here. I think 60 mile an hour winds not out of the question. With this thing 60 to 70, the warnings that have been issued are talking 70 for pretty much anybody in this pocket here, Mount Pleasant down through Pittsburgh, on through Gilmer and Quitman, Tyler, Kilgore, Longview. That's what the warning itself that was issued was talking and referencing up to 70. Hopkins County, we had the potential, at least for a time, of upwards of 80 mile an hour winds, and that's what brought me on, was just to kind of discuss that. And since that 80 mile an hour threshold again sets some other things in motion as far as wireless emergency alerts and things like that, and just, obviously the destructive potential of winds that strong. Macy and Joe said electrics flashing off and on in Canton off 243. Okay. Not surprised by that. Comes a fresh scan, too. You bet, JW. Good to see you, brother. Jenny just got the WEA. Okay. Jenny, where are you? Tons of lightning in Dangerfield. Winds picking up, Leslie. Okay. Power's out in Myrtle Springs. Okay, Lexi, thanks for that. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. So it looks like Weather Service is. Let's see. Yeah, they're upgrading or updating the severe thunderstorm warning for Smith County. 11:35 storms located along a line from near Mount Pleasant to let's see here, 6 miles south of Scroggins to near Grand Saline to near Coffin, moving east at 50. So they're now upping this to potential for up to 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar sized hail. So they're going to hang that destructive tag. So I see what you're talking about now. You guys that said you gotten an alert, that would have been probably from the wireless emergency alert, like we were talking about earlier, Ron, on your phones. Yeah, WEA activated says. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Okay, well that's good. From the standpoint of at least the warnings getting out. Obviously not good when you're talking about 60 to 80 mile an hour winds, and particularly at night. Yeah, so that's probably including this. Yeah, that's going to include you guys there, Wood County. See that destructive damage threat there. So, yeah, so they're saying 1.25 inch hail possibly, and then the up to 80-mile-an-hour winds. Thanks, Tricia, for watching from Buller. Appreciate that. Ashley didn't say anything about Edom, but you guys in the Edom area, southern Van Zandt County, you'll have this line coming on you here in the next 10 minutes or so, probably. Jenny says she's got pretty high wind in Van right now. So half-inch hail tapping earlier, David. Thanks for that, man. But yeah, you guys in southern Van Zandt County, y'all are up next. Lindale as well, by the way. Hideaway Lake. This here's where if we're going to have wind, it's going to be right along, maybe just out ahead of this area. Okay, so if you're along that line. Or just out ahead of it, Lindale, Hideaway, Hawkins, Holly Lake. You're probably seeing some of that now. Just be mindful of that. Hopefully, you got the loose items taken care of around your property and whatnot. Yeah, Alan, I am concerned about trees as well. Particularly with as wet as we've been over the past, couple of weeks. It doesn't take as much. You'll hear me talk about this, often. When you've got a wet stretch, that soil gets awfully easy to move in wind when you throw a lot of moisture on top of it, and so it doesn't take as much wind to pull a tree down. As it might if that soil were a little bit more stable. We have had a couple of days to dry things out, so that'll play to our advantage in those areas that did in fact dry out and didn't see showers earlier today. But some areas did see that or did see the rain today, and so that's that could end up being a problem. I saw a lot of power trucks parked here in Tyler back about 4:30, 5 o'clock today. And you could tell they were staging and readying to go should we need them. And the folks at Encore and those guys and girls, man, they are really good at preparing for events. It's impressive to watch. So we'll see what kind of issues we have tonight and through the overnight, and see how many of those folks are sticking around and how many of them will head back off. A lot of them are not from around here. They'll come in. We had folks putting our power back on last year. The guys I was talking to were from Daytona Beach, and they just go all over the country and help people put power back on. They that's just kind of their thing, and man, bless their hearts for doing it too, because there's nothing you appreciate more than your electricity when you don't have it, especially in a month like June.
At 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over East Boston for 11 miles northeast of Wilkes Point, moving southeast at 60 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour wind speed.
Sarah, I would say asking if we need to shelter like tornadic winds in Hideaway Lake, Missy. Okay, thank you. That makes perfect sense. I would say, you're going to want to stay away from those north and western facing windows in particular. Centermost part of your house is what we tell people in a tornadic situation. I would be especially aware of those windows, and those areas that are going to experience the brunt of this wind, which is going to be anything facing north and or west in your home. I'm worried about the trees. We haven't seen much in the way of tornadic stuff this evening, nor did we expect to see a whole lot of that. The wind has always been the real big thing of concern. But, when it comes to, how do you shelter and something like this? Do you shelter? Yeah, you absolutely do. And, particularly that stuff that's west facing. That's your exposure where you're going to have the most potential for problems. Wind's picking up there, Bethany. Okay, thanks for that.
A severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. The latest severe weather information. Severe thunderstorm watch number 399 from 12 a.m. Central Daylight Time Monday for the following counties in Texas: Deason, Brady. Severe thunderstorm watch next from 12 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the northeastern Henderson County. 11:46 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over the moving southeast at 35 miles per hour.
All right, so let's see here. So you guys, Lindale, Hideaway Lake, we got winds there now. Winds in Betty. Okay, thanks for that, David. Picking up the wind there, Brittany and Mount Vernon. Okay, thanks for that. Storms in Lindale, Madeline. Okay, hang in there. You're gonna be all right. Yeah, Becky, I see that. I see that wind. Thanks for that. Courtney's got some good rain in Lindale. Thunder aligning 64. Chapel Hill. Okay.
Severe thunderstorm watch number 399, effective until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time Monday. This watch includes the following counties in Texas.
Yeah, Weather Service talking about this, how the kind of the apex of this thing between Pittsburgh and Gilmer. That's, you kind of see here how it tries to arc a little bit. Areas like this is going to be this will be your more pronounced wind. If you're going to see that 80, it's going to be in an area like that. right there along the Camp and Upshur County line. Still some hefty thunderstorms there near Lone Star and over to Dangerfield. You guys in Mineola, you've got heavy rain there now and a lot of lightning, but I think the wind should be easing up on you here shortly. Wind and rain there, I-20 front entrance to Hideaway. Thanks, Lola. I see you there. Here's some thunder here, too, in Tyler now, in South Tyler. It's the first bit of that I've heard. 11:50 right now. We'll continue to watch this with you for a bit. Severe thunderstorm warning for many counties across East Texas. Hopkins County, you guys have been cleared out of your warning, so you've got light to moderate, maybe a little bit of heavy rain there near Sulphur Springs, but the severe threat's done for you guys. Same for folks in most of Rains County too. Still some hefty rain there, southeastern Rains County there, just south of 69. Not too far from Alba, but when you get a little bit to the east of there, that's when things start to pick up.
A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 12:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time for
Brandy says pretty good wind there downtown Gilmer right now. Okay, good.
A severe thunderstorm was located over Bend, or 12 miles east of Houston, blowing 30 or 35 miles per hour. 65 miles short, with the heat impact. This severe storm will be moved starting around 11:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Lake Calhoun and Chandler around 12 or 5 a.m. Central Daylight Time. Other locations impacted by the severe thunderstorm include Ben Wheeler, Witten, Moore Station, Alba, Robbie, Jackson, Walton, and Little Springs. For your protection, stay inside a sturdy structure and keep away from windows. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 12:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time Monday for the following counties in Texas: Henderson and Van Zandt. The National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm watch number 399, effective until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time Monday. This watch includes the following counties in Texas: Henderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Upshur, Van Zandt, and Wood. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert.
Yeah, Philip, not seeing any signs of tornadoes, at least for the
Commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, severe thunderstorm watch number 399 has been issued until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time Monday for the following
still not much wind in Tyler, I'll say that. Southwest at 5 right now here. But I would imagine this outflow boundary, since we've got wind at Hideaway, we'll see wind picking up here northwest side of Tyler in the next 10 to 15 minutes, probably, based on that forward movement there. Catherine said a lot of lightning, Alba area. Saw some folks asking about Ben Wheeler here a second ago. Yeah, how's Ben Wheeler, Ashley? Yeah, pretty good wind in the Ben Wheeler area, I would think at this time. As far as speeds there. I'm not real sure what those are going to be. Haven't seen a whole lot of reports out of there. Thanks, Kevin. Glad you're here, brother. Josh seen a lot of lightning, I think. Lola Garden Valley area. Just really, the kind of the leading edge of that wind and rain getting you into Garden Valley, Hideaway. Started blowing at the airport, Terry. Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate the Roselles. Sherry, not seeing anything tornadic. Haven't seen anything tornadic all evening for our immediate area. Weren't as concerned about it as the wind. Lots of wind and rain, Holly Lake Ranch. Thanks, Linda. Appreciate you watching up here in Wood County. Michelle, what about Chandler? Well, Chandler, you're going to get your share of this here shortly. The line is into Smith County now. We got wind in Hideaway and Lindale. Wind's picking up in Swan. Okay, Kane, thank you for that. So that puts us here on just almost on the north loop now. So you guys in Tyler, in the city, northwest side of the city, you'll be the first to get a crack at this. Derek, I haven't seen a whole lot of hail, man. At least not along the line. We may have had some hail earlier on. Could be some hail of this stuff up there near Dangerfield. But, I think the wind's going to be the more dominant thing. Again, just see how that kind of bows out there. So you guys, Ore City, that Ore City area north of Gilmer, over to Jefferson, southern Morris County. I think we're gonna have some much more pronounced wind. It looks like in this area along 155, based on how this Boeing segment continues to act. So let's see that. Granted, we're looking at it from the Fort Worth radar still, but I think if we're going to have some more pronounced wind, it's going to be in this pocket here. Still got power, Kelly, and for now in Garden Valley. Good for y'all. Gene, I'm not seeing anything tornadic in the Tyler area. No. Wind rain's picking up near State Park. Okay, Conrad, thanks. So that's north at State Park Highway. So you guys, new to the area, we'll get that. Runs out north. So if you are new to the area or visiting, glad you're here. You bet, Eric. Lightning in Longview area? Okay. Not surprised that you're seeing lightning. It's still a good ways away from you, though. Let's, Dakota Center's fine for now, bud. Let's go ahead and make that move. So we'll ease into the Shreveport radar. Yeah, this is.
This watch includes the following counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gregg.
Brittany asking about Tyler near the airport. That wind should be getting on to you pretty quick, Brittany. Tyler Pound's out there on 64, right in here. There's 724.
Severe weather may not be imminent. Persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions.
New Harmony area.
Weather statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, severe thunderstorm watch number 399 has been issued until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time Monday for the following counties.
Looks like the rain's definitely in the New Harmony. Look at it, and again, notice what I was talking about here a second ago. See how this line really bows out there near Ore City. So that's just gonna plow this direction. Yeah, Miranda asking about what is a derecho. You hear talk about those. Basically, it's just a long, a long-standing area of destructive winds, and so you see that term thrown around. Just think of it as a long-standing area of really strong winds that tracks across multiple counties. That's really, I think, the quick and easy way to describe a lot of that. Let's look at this here on radar real fast. Once it hits Longview, I mean, it'll be a probably 20-30 minute situation there, and then that'll be it. So the good news is this thing is coming in a bit sooner than anticipated. Hailing at State Park now, Conrad? Okay. If you can estimate the size of the hail bud, I would appreciate it, and I can pass that along to the Weather Service. Only if you feel comfortable doing that, though. Okay. 55 mile per hour at Betty in northern Upshur County from Ham Radio Guy. So that's that matches with what we were talking about there. That Boeing segment there. Heavy rain, Martin's Mill, Monty. Okay, thanks. Massive wind coming down the Cascades, Debbie. Okay, thank you for that. So that's West Tyler. Cascade's going to be out here on the West Loop, so that's into town now. I got a northwest wind at 8 here at the house. It's 12:03. If you're just hopping up and trying to figure out what's going on, severe thunderstorm warning covers many counties across East Texas. This is a wind-driven event, the same kind of thing that we've been talking about for the last couple of days. Wind has not been as bad as it looked like it could have been. So Marble's there outside of Grand Saline. Okay. Thanks, Heather. Appreciate that. But again, straight line of winds, these are going to be most affecting the west and north and northwest parts of your structure that you're in, your home, probably at this hour of the day. So, be aware of that. South side of your house, southeast side of your house will get less of an impact than that west and northern exposure will. Lots of rain and thunder, Rodney. Thank you, Pepe. Appreciate it, man. Lindale getting a lot of rain and thunder right now. Okay. Good deal, bro. Thank you. West northwest here at 7 at my house. But there's going to be a sizable gust front. I think I'll know when this thing comes across. Rain at Lone Star. Thanks, Alejandro. Wind and rain beginning to ease in southwest side of Gilmer. Good, Susan. Thank you for that. Best to you, ma'am. So you guys, Lindale, Hideaway, Winona, Hawkins, Mineola, you're still in the, in the heaviest of the rain. Wind there will slack up here pretty quick. Mineola, Holly Lake, Grand Saline. Sorry, asking about Tyler. Tyler's in the severe thunderstorm warning. Officially runs until 12:15. They'll end up extending that warning for Smith County. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing with the wind. And we're advertising up to 80 miles an hour with that. We'll see what we get out of things here as the line comes through. I can hear things starting to wrestle a little bit. 19 miles an hour at the real estate office right now, which is over on Old Jacksonville. David says hitting pretty good there at Pounds Field. Good. Okay. Thanks, David. I haven't seen anything about tornadoes anywhere, Kaylee. Yeah, wind's starting to pick up here at the house. There it goes. Just got here. Gusting to 22 here right now at the house. Kaylee, Lindale, you guys will clear out in the next, probably in the next 20, 25 minutes. All right, yeah, let's hit this again.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, so Weather Service at 12:07. Severe thunderstorm warning. They're going to do these blanket ones again. This will be including western Marion, Rusk, northwestern Shelby, Upshur, southeastern Titus, Smith, southwestern Cass, Harrison, Panola, northwestern Nacogdoches, southeastern Wood, southern Morris, southeastern Camp, Gregg, and Cherokee counties until 1:15. All right, at 11, let's see here. At 12:03, storms located along a line extending from near Jenkins to near East Mountain to 7 miles west of Liberty City to Tyler over to Brownsboro, moving southeast at 40. So they're still gonna stick with that 80 mile an hour winds and quarter size tail possible with this. So let's keep that. We'll keep that in mind. So this is a new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, they're going to push these things out in groups because of the movement of this line. Wind doesn't seem as bad here in Tyler as it is in other places. Probably most noteworthy, I would think, up into at Lone Star area and Marion County, and probably even northwestern Harrison County. I have a feeling that's going to be a hot area as far as wind goes. Winona, Jason getting quite a bit right now. Okay. Swan getting pretty bad. Jasmine, okay, thank you for that. Yeah, Ron, they ended up extending the severe thunderstorm warning for Smith County until 1:15. Yeah, the wireless emergency alerts would have activated because of that 80 mile an hour potential that the Weather Service has here for wind in this line. So if you got a message on your phone, You don't see those very much for severe thunderstorm warnings. Those typically, the wireless emergency alerts will activate, though, if we have an 80-mile-an-hour or higher projected wind and or a tornado warning. But we don't have a tornado warning tonight, just at least for the time being. We don't, just the severe thunderstorm warning. But still, and if you were to get 70 to 80-mile-an-hour winds, that can do plenty of damage. So we want to definitely give these things the respect that they deserve. Leading edge of this line, at least the heavier rain into the bulk of Tyler right now. Okay, hearing the thunder in Flint. Yeah, I bet you are. Seen a peak gust here at the house of 22 miles an hour so far, so not bad there.
You're listening to your weather radio, station WFK 36, broadcasting Tyler on 162.475 megahertz. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Here's a look at local weather conditions.
Insane lightning there, Lola says, in Lindale, near I-20. Okay.
The temperature was 78 degrees at the regional airport. The dew point was
Comes a fresh scan from Shreveport. Could be a little bit of hail in here, going up. Is that 271? Yeah, south of 271, north of 31. Anything in kind of this lavender shading here. It could be a little bit of small hail. Just another pretty good gust to 25 here at the house. Elizabeth said wind and rain pick it up at Chapel Hill. Yeah.
mostly cloudy skies at 11 p.m. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 12:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time for Van in northeastern Henderson County.
Small hail northwest Tyler, south of 20. Yeah, Miriam, thanks for that. That totally makes sense with what we're just talking about.
35 miles per hour. Hazard, 65 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to roof.
A lot of rain, Vanessa says, in Longview there by Judson Middle School. Thank you for that. Talked to some folks with Longview earlier this evening. That gust front's going to be into northwest Longview here quite quickly. You guys in northern Gregg County there, from Spring Hill back south, White Oak over to Liberty City. There's the leading edge there for you guys. So the wind again is going to be concentrated right on this leading edge. And then heavy rain back behind that. A lot of wind there, Brett says, outside of Van. Okay. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate that. You're just about on the back end of this now. Wind sustained at 13 here at the house. Gust to 25. $25-mile-an-hour gust at the real estate office on Old Jacksonville.
Severe thunderstorm watch number 399 has been issued until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time, ready for the following counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Russ, Smith, Upshur, Wood.
A lot of wind Chapel Hill now, Lacey or Lucia. Yeah, wind's picking up a lot here at the house. Yeah, we're northwest at 25.
Here's a look at local weather conditions at 11 p.m. At the top of the hour, skies were mostly cloudy in Tyler. The temperature was 78 degrees at the regional airport.
Natasha's got some pretty good wind in White House. Okay. Alan says winds died down there in Swan. Good. Still very curious about what's going on here in northwestern Marion County there, north of Lake of the Pines, or near Lake of the Pines, north of there, and even south of there, down towards the north side of Longview.
This watch includes the following counties: Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Upchurch, Van and Wood. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development.
Let's get over here and do some poking around.
Remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to our weather radio, commercial radio, and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeat, severe thunderstorm watch number 399.
Just trying to poke around for some wind here, that Ore City area. Near that apex. Madison says very windy north side of Longview. Yeah, I could see that. Power's out. North Tyler near Bolter, Angel. Okay.
Was 29.94 in Longview. Skies were mostly cloudy with a temperature of 33 degrees.
Laura, not seeing a ton of hail out of this. At least, large hail like we would oftentimes be worried about for damage and things like that. Looks like wind continues to be the bigger issue. Kayla, there's still going to be some additional stuff back behind this, but this is going to do a lot to work things over. Tori, sirens in Longview? Are you saying you're hearing sirens there? Thanks, Brooks. Things easing up on the north side of Lindale there. Good deal, man. Taylor says sirens in Longview. Okay. Neil, I haven't seen a ton of wind speeds out of this. I saw a 40-mile-an-hour gust at Gilmer earlier on. Where was this one at? At a 68-mile-an-hour gust at Gilmer. That's the biggest thing I've seen. Yeah, so sirens are going off in Longview then. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing that from multiple sources. That would be for the those sirens would be for the wind, not for anything tornadic. Still, if you've got a 60 mile an hour wind pulling through town, that can be a problem. Yeah. Brian says they're setting off the sirens in Longview due to the high wind speeds. So, so I appreciate that. Yeah, they will. Sometimes cities will, depending on their protocols, will issue or will hit the sirens for winds. Doesn't have to necessarily be tornado to do that. Asking about Bullard there, I saw Raven. Wind will be into the Bullard area here in the next probably next 5 to 10 minutes. Rain's coming down pretty good here in South Tyler. Not a ton of wind, though. I will say that. Peak gust of 25 here. Zach asking about Atlanta. Man, you'll have you got this thing starting to kind of wrap up there over western Cass County right now. That's a pretty good bit of wind, I think, there near Avenger. See how that's kind of bowing out on that last scan? See that right there? So, you guys in Atlanta, especially south of Atlanta, some pretty stout wind coming your way. Ditto that, you guys between Jefferson and Linden as well. So I don't want you guys to be left out on that. Thanks, Sarah.
In the lower 70s. Chance of rain 20%. Sunday, mostly cloudy with the chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs in the upper 80s. Chance of rain 50%. The national weather.
I hear you, Emily. I'm getting sleepy too. Caleb asking about Lindale, Mineola. You guys, Mineola, definitely calming down. Lindale, y'all will get the back end of this heavier rain through in the next 10 minutes or so. Good deal, Kim. That sounds like a good plan. Got some nachos sitting on the back porch watching it rain. Not a bad thing. Sirens going off in Kilgore, Emily says. Okay, thank you. Happy birthday, John. Asking about White House, Megan. The line itself is definitely into White House now. Rain will be picking up here in the next few minutes. Absolutely, Emily. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Gary. Wind's picking up at the PD in Kilgore. Appreciate that, bud. You bet, Neil Barton. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here, Jennifer. Glad to be up with you. North of Jacksonville. Okay, gotcha. Crazy calm in Tyler by Lake Tyler. Well, we'll see if we can take care of that, Sarah, in a little bit. So we got almost all of Wood County out of the warning now. Rains County, Franklin, Titus, you guys still got the flash flood warning going on now up Mount Pleasant area. But like I've been saying, the main severe threat tonight is going to be right along this snaking cluster. Hunter said not much wind there near Hubbard. Okay, thanks for that, bud. Good rain though. You bet, Daryl. It does kind of look like a seahorse, doesn't it, Carrie? Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, it does kind of look like a seahorse. Tracy, here's the main line, right? Yeah. Just pushing through. Wind is going to be more pronounced up here. I think a bit, although there's some pretty good little, probably a little bit of hail there near Chapel Hill right now. Sirens in Kilgore, Shayna. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Thank you, bud. So we got severe warnings all the way back to Abilene right now. Pretty good lightning strike there. Weather Service has officially got the severe thunderstorm watch in place until 4 o'clock. So we're at 12:27 now. I don't know if this will go the full distance or not, but Nancy's got a lot of wind in Longview. Siren still activated. Once we get this wind, another 10, 15 minutes, I'd be interested to see what the winds are doing in Longview. Siren stopped in Kilgore, Cindy? Okay, thank you. Bree says lightning just struck something in Chandler. Okay. Oh, thanks, James. Appreciate you, man. Hope you guys at the PD had a good day. If you had to work today. Hopefully you had the day off, but here comes a fresh scan. Again, my greatest concern on wind is going to be from, we'll say, near Linden, probably just south of Linden, down to just west of Jefferson. You're going to have some pretty good wind come through Jefferson here in the next 15, 20 minutes. That arcs on back down to just west side of Marshall, Hallsville. You guys are seeing that right now. Vanessa said lightning's pretty wild north Longview right now. Siren stopped in Longview, says Jason. Thank you for that, bud. Thanks, James. Indy, I'd say that's a good thing. Not seeing much wind at the house. Yeah, that's good. That's what you want. Is it severe in Lindale? Not really at this point, Kaylee. it's quickly kind of subside or quickly kind of skating off to the south of you guys.
Sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, severe thunderstorms
Amelia's in Marshall. All right, Amelia.
until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Umpqua, Van Vetten Wood. Now let's check on your local forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy.
So rain subsiding pretty well in the Van Zandt County. Still some light to moderate showers there over northern Rains County, and rain still raining pretty heavily there into Hopkins County. Although the severe threat is gone.
Chance of rain 80%. Monday,
Now, let's say no tornadoes in Longview. They issued they hit the sirens on account of the potential for some strong winds. So that was the reasoning behind that.
rain 50%. Monday night, mostly cloudy.
Folks asking about southern Smith County. You guys in ARP, you got the heavy rain getting into your neck of the woods now, as is New London, and that leading edge just about to get into northern Cherokee County. Henderson, y'all also on deck.
Mostly cloudy. A chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Darlene says wind's blowing pretty good in Mixon.
East winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%.
I see you there in Mixon. Haven't seen a ton of hail out of this whole thing this evening, George. Most of what we see from issues are going to be related to wind, not hail tonight with this.
Highs in the mid-80s. Chance of rain 50%. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. Then a chance of showers and thunderstorms after midnight. Those in the lower 70s. Chance of rain 50%.
If you guys eastern counties here, a little look at this track.
Showers and thunderstorms in the morning. Then showers and thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. Highs in the mid.
Appreciate you, Miranda. Thank you.
Thursday night, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows around 70. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, thunderstorms likely. Showers likely.
So we got the worst of that wind should be through all but the extreme southeastern tip of Gregg County there. You guys on Lake Cherokee getting some hefty wind right now. We were over there yesterday. Beautiful area. Really, really pretty spot there, Lake Cherokee. But that wind's on top of you now. Hang in there, Henderson. Rain's on the way. So's the wind. New London, you guys in the thick of it right now. White House over to noonday. Tyler getting toward the back end of that heaviest rainfall.
Severe thunderstorm watch number 399 remains in effect until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Umpqua, Van Vetten Wood. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means that
Good deal, Lola. Glad we could help out with that.
including large hail and
I have found in my days that people have very little trouble getting keyed up about the weather. The problem they have is kind of backing off of that somewhat. So hopefully we can help with that. Thanks, Nancy, for being here. Appreciate that.
or internet sources for the latest.
Panola County, Carolyn. Well, let's look over here into Panola County. We'll take a gander at that. Not a whole lot going on Panola County yet. That there's that leading edge of that line though, so it is headed in your direction. You get some hefty rain out of this. I haven't seen just a ton of destructive wind per se out of this, although the potential for it, I think, is going to be, if it's there, is going to be probably north of you over into Marion County, southern parts of Cass County, and potentially even, over as far south as Marshall. We'll just have to keep an eye out on that, but looks like that line's got a few little dimples in it, and so we'll be watching that. Let's do this real fast while we got a second. Let's get back over here, and so those are not warnings that affect Henderson County, but a lot of hefty rain across Henderson County right now, all associated with the same complex. Power's out in Spring Hill. Tanaya, thank you for that. Yeah, asking about being told to treat it as a tornado warning, David. Since you got the WEA. Again, when we hit that, or when the Weather Service hits that 80 mile an hour criteria for wind, that sets into motion the use of what's called the wireless emergency alert system. It's the same process that happens when a tornado warning is issued for your area. They'll send out those WEAs. You can mute that on your phone if you want to. But if you don't, you'll get a wireless emergency alert for this line of storms as long as they maintain an 80 mile an hour potential for winds in it. So that's why they're talking about, treating this as a tornado warning. Peas there, East Longview, Landry. Okay, thank you for that. Absolutely, Penny. Thank you. Yeah, this line overall should lose strength as it moves further south and east. Models had that happening. So, for what that's worth, that's also part of why the extreme southern counties were not included in the severe thunderstorm watch box initially, because the expectation was that while the line could be quite strong as it comes through I-20 and sweeps across into East Texas, as it moves further to the south into our deep East Texas counties, Sabine County, Shelby, Angelina, those areas, St. Augustine, that the line would lose strength, and so that's why the watch box wasn't included that far to the south. So let's pull back over to Shreveport. I was kind of looking around there on the west side. So we're at 1239 now. We've got the severe thunderstorm warning for folks in Marion County, Harrison County, Panola County, extreme northwestern Shelby County, northern Nacogdoches, Rusk County, and Cherokee County, about to Alto, and then back up into Smith County what's left of Upshur County, and same for Morris County. Severe weather really has exited, it looks to me, out of Morris County and out of Upshur County too, for that matter. So if that helps to give you guys a little bit of peace, then in those areas, so be it. Oh, Tabitha, yeah. Hang in there. You bet, Lee. Thanks for listening to the updates. Yeah, we're getting some good downpours out of this thing here for sure. "39-mile-an-hour gust at Emerald Bay so far. Thanks to my buddy Ross Hayes for that. How's Longview looking, JC? Longview's looking pretty good. You can see the line, a little bit weaker presentation now on the backside of that initial gust front. So you guys in Longview, you got still some good lightning and some heavy rain in the area, but the wind has done, I think, what it's going to do. Now, you folks, somebody was asking about Carthage. I saw Megan asking about Carthage. You guys are still up to bat here. I'm good. Thank you. So you guys in Carthage, that you're up on deck, as are folks in Wascom and Caddo, Uncertain. Henderson really should be seeing quite a bit at this point. So Weather Service at 12:41 is continuing severe thunderstorm warning until 1:15. They have brought the maximum wind speed down to 70 miles an hour, down from that 80 mile an hour potential earlier on. So that's good. That's the direction we want to see things heading. Also, the direction we expected to see things heading by the time the complex got this far to the south. So that's good news there. Up to quarters also possible in that, but the fact that they came off that 80 mile an hour position is obviously very much a good sign. Absolutely, Lydia. Absolutely. Glad you're here. Can Longview sleep now, Jake? Man, I tell you, I would say so. I think you're looking pretty good. It'll be noisy. It may take you a while to get to sleep with the thunder and whatnot, but the severe stuff is quickly stepping out on y'all. Sabrina asking about Wascom. Let's look over here and see what Wascom's got. At leading edge of that line, Sabrina is about to Scottsville right now, so it'll be on top of you here in the next 20-25 minutes probably. It's moving a pretty good clip, about 40 to 50 miles an hour, which is not hurting my feelings any. See here, continues. It's going south. They're calling it 40, but still, that's good. We too need to quit meeting like this, Melissa. Yes, that's just it is just plumb silly, isn't it? Coffee City, rain and thunder, Terry. Very good. Gotcha. Severe past Hideaway Lake, Tracy. Yes. Yeah, I think you're looking pretty good there in Hideaway. Things letting up quickly in Lindale and that area, Smith County. Ariel, I'm glad we could help with that. That's something we try to do. Winds picking up, Larissa near Jacksonville. Okay, yeah, that's to be expected. Tyler's clear of the severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. The new polygon, when they did the update, cleared Longview out, cleared Kilgore out, cleared Tyler out. You guys down in extreme southern Smith County still in the warning technically. But that's south of White House, south of Overton, south of Noonday. Thanks, Anita. Still raining quite heavily there in Henderson County from just east of Gun Barrel City over through Athens, Brownsboro, Chandler. Yeah, Melanie, Gregg County, the only part of Gregg County still inside of a warning is going to be that area around Easton. Lake Cherokee area. But that is going to quickly change. Sure thing, Tori. Power's out in Overton, Tanya. Okay. Sure thing, Julie. Jerry says it's here in Martin Lake. Wind's picking up. Yeah. That is definitely what I would expect. Really glad I think the showers and the thunderstorms that we had earlier this afternoon did in fact impact some of this thing. Like I was telling, I think I've mentioned this earlier, I had a 110-degree heat index at my house here back there, and I think it was like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like it was silly. But we got some outflow from some of those showers and thunderstorms, and temp dropped off pretty quick. We never got chilly by any stretch, but we were down well back into the 80s, and I think that also helped to play into disrupting things somewhat. You never can be for sure of what's going to happen with this kind of thing. It's always kind of in the back of your mind, but the models were still showing this thing blowing pretty good in spite of the thunderstorm development. So, it was one of those situations where it could have been a really big scene here had things transpired like they appeared they could, at least. But this time of year, these June northwest flow events like this, June is a notorious month for big events driven by wind. We had one last year. We were out of power here in South Tyler for several days. We were, you had the Upshur County event last June of 23, I think it was. That was a beast of an event. I think over 90% of the meters with Upshur Rural Electric were offline after that thing swung across. And so again, it could be a tough month. It made even worse by the fact that when you do lose electricity, it's one thing to lose electricity in April. It's a whole other set of circumstances to lose electricity in June, when you've got a dew point in the 70s, and it's just stifling at this time of year to not have electric. So the fact that the fact that you have good wind potential coming through, that can really be a problem. This line now, again, Linden, you guys in Cass County, line stretching from really just east of Linden, I guess, southeast of Linden, down to east of Jefferson now. There's uncertain. That means Caddo. Getting this thing through Marshall. Wascom, you guys are on deck, as is Carthage. Mount Enterprise, southern Rusk County, there along 259. Rainfall's well into Henderson now. So we'll continue pushing that down 259. Get it into Nacogdoches County. City of Nac proper, not in the severe thunderstorm warning per se. That'll just really be those areas up towards Cushing and that spot along and north of 21. You folks in Cherokee County there near Rusk, you got showers and thunderstorms Jacksonville currently, but nothing. This line looks even more disrupted. Yeah, starting to see some breaks there. See how the overall the radar returns are dropping off. That's a good sign. You bet, Tracy. Glad you're here. Glad you're here, Jenny. Thank you. Appreciate you saying that. Jill said she's going to pack it in for the night. I don't blame you. Appreciate you being here, Jill. All right, let's hit this new warning here, looks like.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, 12:52, Weather Service going with a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to include a good number of Louisiana parishes, so we'll skip to the Texas side of this. South Central Marion, Eastern Harrison, Panola, Rusk, Central Rusk, and Shelby County. That goes till 2 o'clock. Weather Service looking at the potential for up to 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. So that'll be this pocket out here. So we'll basically take the rest of the line through Marion County, through Harrison. They're into Harrison, or the rest of Harrison County. I'll get it right in a second. Through Panola County. This will include you guys in Carthage, Mount Enterprise. You're just outside of the polygon officially. Timpson, you're in it. Tenaha, Center, Huxley. So they're going to run that thing until looks like 2 o'clock. Light rain in Overton, but no power, says Jessica. Okay. Winds are calm here at the house right now. Everything's light.
This is a dangerous situation. These storms are producing widespread wind damage. Seek shelter now.
What's it look like in Bullard, Heather? Let's check in there and see. quieter than it very well could have been by this point. Anita thinks the lightning just struck something in Marshall. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Still some decent lightning over Smith County and Henderson County and back over into Rusk County. Good to see those warnings, though, starting to shrink.
Until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas: Henderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Upshur, Van Dyke, and Wood.
Cushing, Tasha? Pretty quiet in Cushing, at least for the moment. Storms are headed your way. Beverly says the neighborhood's without power. On the Smith County line at Overton. Okay. You bet, Katie. Sure thing, Casey.
Severe thunderstorm watch number 399 remains until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas: Henderson.
Atlanta had friends in New York praying that we would get through this. Well, we appreciate that. Always. So we're coming up on 12:56. You bet, Kim. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue. These are all wind-driven warnings and some hail. Yeah, there's some hail potential there. Nothing tornadic. Haven't seen anything tornadic tonight across our area. We do have the flash flood warning, which continues active for folks in eastern Franklin County, a good chunk of what would be Titus County and extreme northern Camp County. That's going to go for another hour or so. Yeah, an hour and 18 minutes. So, but that's a flash flood warning for you guys there. Severe thunderstorm watch officially runs until 4. But this stuff's going to outrun that watch. I mean, the watch doesn't even get down to Angelina County, and so we'll be clearing that pretty soon. And the line seems to be losing some of its strength as it treks further south. So those are good trends all the way around, if you ask me. And we'll take the rain. I mean, we get another couple of weeks down the road, and we're going to shut that rain train off. And at least if history is an indication, and then we'll be left with the hot and dry setup for July and August, and we'll be praying for rain by the 1st of September, and probably get some by the latter part of September. But doesn't look like a really crazy hurricane season coming up, at least in the Atlantic. You can come out of your shelter, John. I think you're good, man. Nancy, I don't think so. Looks like I had reported some trees down in the Overton area for emergency management. That may explain some of those power outages that we had folks talking about. Sure thing, Sarah. Thank you for being here. We know you got places you can get information from, so I appreciate you stopping by here and supporting what we're doing. Thanks again, as we talk about, to our friends at Rose City Air for supporting what we do here as well. So it's a pleasure to get to hang out with you all during this kind of stuff. Yeah, I think, Ariel, you can come out of the hiding place there in Longview. You're good. Longview has been cleared from the warning, the severe thunderstorm warning. Sure thing, Nita. Michelle's in a glass guard shack. Hey, Michelle, thanks for being there, working third shift tonight. How's Knack looking? Knack's looking okay for now. This line's continuing to kind of lose some of its punch as it heads south. You guys in Nacogdoches are not in a warning at this time. You are in the watch, but not the severe thunderstorm warning. Mikey, I think your weather jokes are hitting good. I see you there. Well, there we go. 1 o'clock. Welcome to Monday. What's the worst of it for South Longview, Madison? Just some lightning and some brief, moderate rainfall. But you guys have shut it down in Longview, so started to rain there, Lake Merville. Okay, Hillary, thank you. You bet, Jackie. Let's look back out to the west for a second. So they got flash flood warnings in play for Dallas County. Looks like Tarrant County, Denton County. Yeah. So that's not too surprising. Severe thunderstorms out, and it looks like southern Taylor County. Yeah. Southwestern Taylor County. Old stomping grounds out there. Some pretty good hail there south of Merkel. Another pretty good little, maybe some hail there, right there by Ranger Hill on I-20. You guys run out west on I-20, you hit that big hill at Ranger. Down there in northern Brown County, there's Rising Star. A lot of folks hunt deer out there. I used to get calls from people. They were out in their deer stands. They would see me on TV out there. People from East Texas coming out. But you guys in Tyler, everybody north of 31, yeah, I'd go ahead and hit the sack. Longview, Gilmer, Mineola. It'll rain on you for a while, but yeah, Savannah, you're good in White House. A little bit of lightning here and there and some heavy rain, but that's it. Hunter, maybe 35 mile an hour. Okay, good. Near Hubbard. Appreciate that, bud. Thank you very much. Winds picked up in Wascom, Sabrina says. Okay. Yeah, you're right there on the front end of it now, Sabrina. Hallsville, Miriam. Let's get in there and see what we got. Yeah, you guys are just some light to moderate rainfall. I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, Courtney, you're out of it in Tyler. Y'all are good. And this rain's going to continue to kind of, vacillate in and out. And there'll be some lightning in there too.
and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio, and
Yeah, so let's look over here. Let's check this out here.
399 remains in effect until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties: in Texas, Anderson, Cherokee.
All right, let's hit this real fast.
Severe thunderstorm warning.
So this will be severe thunderstorm warning. This is a new one for southern Van Zant, Henderson County, Anderson County. That'll run till 2:15, up to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. Storms along the line from near Kemp to near Kearns to 8 miles northeast of Wortham to 7 miles west of the town of West, moving southeast at 45. So we'll put that into motion real quick. So it's the same complex, just another edge of it. So this will include you guys in Palestine. Athens is in there. Brownsboro's in there. Malakoff's in there. Gun Barrel's in there. Yeah, Emily, that's the warning for that we were just talking about. Same thing. Main concern is going to be for some straight line of winds.
Central Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Woodlands 7 miles northwest.
Haven't had a ton of hail.
40 miles per hour. Hazard 70 miles per hour. Quarter-sized hit. Source radar indicated. In front, hail damage vehicles is expected. Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Locations include Longview, Marshall, Jacksonville, Henderson, Kilgore, White House, Carthage, White Brook, Gladewater, Rust, Kilmer, Lindale, Fallsville, Bakerfield, Overton, Fuller, Wascom.
Some impressive totals. I don't know that I'm buying 7 inches, but we'll wait and see what the numbers come in like tomorrow. But man, looking at rainfall totals. Some of these pockets where we had some of the stronger storms earlier this afternoon. Had some hail this afternoon, so that can inflate these numbers. So we'll have to revisit that later on in the morning.
Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 1:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following times.
But you can see just the overall intensity of those returns on the radar really coming down from where they were. So that's the trend you want to see. Doesn't mean it's not going to keep raining for a while, and could rain pretty heartily. Back behind that, you can see it kind of rebuilding into Smith County. Thunder's increasing in Rusk, Nancy. Okay.
Severe weather may not be imminent. Persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, commercial radio and television outlets, or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, severe thunderstorm watch number 399 remains in effect until 14 counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Henderson, Rust, Smith, Upshur, Van Dant, and Wood. You're listening to your weather radio, station WXK 36, broadcasting
So I had some flooding.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Here's a look at local weather conditions as of midnight.
Carthage going to be okay. It's pouring there. All right. Yeah, Carthage, you'll be all right. We'll get that line, that initial surge through. The line overall, again, as we talked about, not nearly as impressive as it was an hour or 2 hours ago.
The pressure was 29.94 inches rising. In Longview, skies were mostly cloudy with a temperature of 73 degrees. The dew point was 70, making the relative humidity 90%. Winds were 8.5 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.84 inches and falling.
Windy in Carthage, but not bad, Belinda says. That's what we want to hear. I would expect nothing less. A lot of thunder, Stephen says, though, in Athens. Thunder here in Tyler's getting pretty distant.
Were located along a line extending from near Woodland to 7 miles northwest of Tatum to near Henderson, near Fort Greene, moving southeast at 40 miles per hour.
Now, I don't think you're going to have too much trouble in Marshall from that stuff out west. You're all right to sleep there, I think, Drake. Sure thing, Christy. Yeah, Shauna Maybank, they did reissue a new severe thunderstorm warning that covers Henderson County. Let's get back over here, Christy. We'll look at Athens again for you real quick. So here we are in Athens, Henderson County proper. Yes, Sissy, you guys did get put back under severe thunderstorm warning there in Henderson County. Quite a bit going on in Jacksonville, Tanya says. As we've been doing all night, these are strictly severe thunderstorm warnings. Nothing tornadic.
Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds.
Yeah, I think you'll continue to kind of calm there in Marshall, Anita.
Commercial radio and television outlets or internet sources for the latest severe weather information. Repeating, severe thunderstorm watch number 399 remains in effect until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gray, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Upshur.
We're about to clear that line out of Marion County, which is great. You guys are warning free in Cass County, Upshur County, Morris, Camp, besides the flash flood warning that's left over. Gray County, almost completely clear of the warnings. The severe weather's out of there, but the warning, that one warning is kind of lingering for another minute. So we'll clear a good chunk of people out here at 1:15.
were mostly cloudy with a temperature of 73 degrees. The dew point was 70, and relative humidity 90%. Winds were 8 at 5 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.81 inches and falling.
So there we go at 1:15. There goes that warning. So we have cleared some additional real estate out.
In Texas, Anderson, Cherokee, Gregg, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Upshur, Van and Wood. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements.
The Weather Service is doing a special weather statement now for this section of the line, which will run basically from Gallatin over to Mount Enterprise. This will include the city of Nacogdoches, as well as the city of Lufkin. So they're saying Nichols and winds of 50 to 55 possible with that. That is a good sign. If they feel comfortable not running with a warning. Instead, let the special weather statement cover that. That's the trend you want to see right there. Over to New London, Caitlin. Yeah, you guys are A-okay. Sleep tight.
In Longview, skies were mostly cloudy with a temperature of 73 degrees. The dew point was 70, making the relative humidity 90%. Winds were east at 5 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.81 inches and falling. Once again in Tyler, it was 76 degrees with the thunderstorm reported at midnight. You're listening to your weather radio. Station W236. Rowan County, Tyler on 160.475 megahertz. Be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Sure thing, Rachel. Glad you're here. Absolutely, Caitlin. Danny, Mount Selman's looking pretty good. You guys are out of severe warnings. Weather Service opted and just went with a special weather statement south of you. Getting stronger there in Cushing, huh, Randy?
Moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour in gusts and Nichols.
Yeah, that would make sense. Courtney's in center waiting their turn. Well, it is nice of you to do that. We'll get this thing into Shelby County. We got it into northern Shelby County now. Much weaker than it was earlier.
A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 2:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas, Anderson and Henderson. The severe thunderstorm warning for southern Colorado.
Thanks, Roseanne. Appreciate you. Give my best to Chuck. Good deal, Danny. Thank you. Yeah, Phil, didn't look like it was going to be too bad for you guys, Mount Enterprise. you guys are actually not inside a warning at all in Mount Enterprise. The warning skates off just to your east, just to your east.
Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Lake Calais into near Trinidad Lake to 8 miles south of Richmond Chambers Reservoir.
Jamie says Carthage getting it now. Okay, yeah. Y'all will be inside of that for probably 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, Jamie, and then you should let up. Mark, that'll cover you too, bud. Courtney, wind for you guys, I would say based on, I mean, the warning says up to 70, but I haven't seen anything approaching that, at least that's been reported. We'll see, but the bulk of what you will experience wind-wise, you've probably already seen when that line initially came through. So, I wouldn't sweat what you're in the midst of now as much. There's a lot of heavy rain there and some lightning, but as far as significant wind, I think you're all right. Pretty rough. Jamie's hiding under the covers. Yeah, understood. Timpson, Renee, leading edge of the line. Nothing just overly impressive there. Technically, you're inside the severe thunderstorm warning polygon, but practically, I haven't seen just a ton that's making me nervous in that area. Roxanne's asking about Mount Pleasant. These two guys are still in that flash flood warning for another, a little less than an hour. Anita, I'd say hit the sack. But the rain's still going on, so they may or may not extend that thing at 2:15. We'll have to wait and see. Big city of Huntington for Renee.
Once again in Tyler, it was 68 degrees with the thunderstorm reported at 1 a.m. The severe thunderstorm warning for southern Compton and southern Van counties is canceled. The storms which prompted the warning.
Good deal, Judy.
The warning has been canceled. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for Central and North Central Texas. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect.
Weather Service in Fort Worth has started clearing counties out of the watch, which is perfectly sensible. They've cleared out Van Zandt County. I would imagine they've probably just missed where they cleared some other counties out earlier. So Kelly said they had some pretty good wind that came through Carthage. Power has been out since 4:45. Oh, man. Yeah. I hate to hear that. So Athens getting some pretty good rain right now, Danny says. Ditches are flooding into road on 79 in Pine Hill. Okay, Joshua, thank you.
Severe thunderstorm watch number 399 remains in effect until 4 a.m. Central Daylight Time for the following counties in Texas: Anderson, Cherokee, Gray, Henderson, Rusk, Smith, Upshur, and Benton Woods. Remember, a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds in and close to the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and listen for later statements.
Wind's picking up in Elkhart, Stormy says. Gotcha.
Commercial radio outlets or internet sources for the latest severe weather information.
Kelly, severe winds, severe storms in Bullard. I think you've seen most of what we're going to see on that front. Pretty good rain right now, Ponte. Justin, okay. Thank you, bud.
For 75 megahertz. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Here's a look at local weather conditions as of 1 a.m. At the top of the hour, a thunderstorm was reported in Tyler. The temperature was 68 degrees at the regional airport. The dew point was 67, and the relative humidity 96%.
Trinity said winds picking up there, Cass County near Domino.
Pressure was 29.94 inches and falling. In Longview, thunder was reported with a temperature of 68 degrees. The dew point was 66, making the relative humidity 93%. Winds were west at 9 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.93 inches and rising. Once again in Tyler, it was 68 degrees with the thunderstorm reported at 1 a.m.
So Weather Service has officially got the warning for another 34 minutes. So that'll take us to 2 o'clock. Stacy asking about Alto, anything south of there? No, Weather Service opted not to reissue severe thunderstorm warning for that section of the line over Cherokee County. They were going to just go ahead and run a special weather statement instead, which is great.
Moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour west of San Nicolas side hill. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damaged roofs, siding, and trees. Locations are 10:52.
Laura, as far as Carthage is concerned, now I'm really not concerned with tornadoes at this point for you guys. That the back end of that strongest rainfall, heaviest of that stuff is going to be pulling through and getting east of you here, east and southeast of you here pretty quick.
For your protection, stay inside of sturdy structure and keep away from windows. Repeat, severe thunderstorm warning.
Getting loud in Henderson, Angel says. Yeah, it won't be loud for much longer, though. Center area, Stacy, it lines into Timpson and Tenaha now. It'll continue coming south. Y'all are under severe thunderstorm warning until 2 o'clock. Officially, Weather Service saying up to 70 mile an hour winds in that. Maybe a few small pocket change hailstones. I don't see anything that looks like hail in there, though, right now. And haven't seen any reports of significant wind either, which is good. Better to play it on the safe side. But, some lightning in there, back up towards Carthage. You're probably hearing some weak thunder off out north of you. Yeah, Eric, it's weakening and it'll continue to weaken as we go, as we get further removed from all that driving stuff earlier in the day. So I tell you what, we're coming up on 1:30. I am going to, barring something crazy occurring, we're going to handle the remainder of this for a while through the individual posts, and hopefully we can get you guys squared away with things that way. As far as organized significant severe weather is concerned through the night, I don't see much of that per se. The rainfall has got our temps down into the 60s now here in Tyler, and winds are out of the north. Not just a ton, I think, of additional stuff going to happen here over the next little bit. But we'll keep an eye on things. If we need to come back in and handle something more significant, we'll do that. Typically, we don't come on and do long-form coverage for severe thunderstorm warnings, but with the potential for wind that we've been watching for the last couple of days, and some of the warnings that came out earlier for Hopkins County, felt like it was worthwhile to get in and kind of walk through this with you guys here for a while. Thanks for being a part of what we do here. Again, appreciate my friends at Rose City Air for their support of our page. So if you have any HVAC needs, give those folks a call. Super, super nice people. Follow me on the other social sites as well. If you're on X, you can find me there at Doc Deason. If you are on YouTube, or you have a friend who's on YouTube possibly who doesn't do the other social platforms, I encourage them to follow the page there on YouTube. I'm there primarily as a live severe weather delivery system. We don't do a ton on there otherwise, but maybe we'll make some moves in that direction one day to do other stuff. So. And of course, as always, you can follow us on Facebook there, Doc Deason's Weather. Email if you have pictures, anything of note that you think is important. Feel free to drop me an email with that, doc@docdeason.com. We'll be happy to take a look at that. And appreciate y'all being a part of this. I had a heck of a squad in here tonight. We've picked up multiple hundreds of new followers here over the last 24 to 36 hours, which is always humbling, and we appreciate that as well. Hope you guys get yourself some rest. Thanks for letting me be a part of weather with you. We'll do a 7-day forecast. I'm going to get a little bit of sleep. We'll be up and get you a 7-day forecast here, hopefully by 7:30 or so in the morning. I think we got a lot more rain coming at us this week, so there'll be things to talk about there, and we'll handle that as we need to after we get some shut-eye. And like I said, if we need to hop back on and handle some business, we can do that as well. By the way, Weather Service has canceled that severe thunderstorm warning for Henderson County and southern Van Zandt County that they had earlier on, so that's a good trend. Anderson County, you guys are out of that, so good on them. Gerardo, can Abilene go to sleep? Man, just for my friends out there west, let me do this for just 1 second, brother, because I love that part of the state. You got a heck of a line there down in there. Is that Coke County, I think, in the east of Winters? That's a lot of hail there, man. So Abilene might be able to go to sleep, but folks down towards Coleman and over into oh my gosh, is that Callahan County, I think, off just to the east there, Clyde, Baird, Putman? It's been a while since I looked at my map out that way, but that's a lot of hail right down there, east side of Winters. So those guys in northern Coleman County, my friend Randy Turner lives there in Coleman. Dear friend of mine. So he may even be on the radio right now handling that stuff. So you'll be able to get some rest there shortly in Abilene, bud. So thanks for watching from Taylor County. Love those folks out that way. You guys enjoy your night here. We'll be back to talk as we need to throughout the overnight hours. Thanks for being a part of what we do here, though. It's a lot of fun to hang out with y'all. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching this live broadcast from Doc Deason's Weather. When weather's at its worst, we're at our best. Doc Deason's Weather.